Hey guys, Max Weigand here. So in this video, I want to share with you one of the most potent tools that you could ever start deploying in your life to maximize your willpower, bulletproof your self-discipline, and make sure that you have the ability to follow through on your good intentions even when you don't feel like it, so you can achieve the lofty dreams and goals that you have in your life. And so the tool that I'm talking about here is something that psychologists call implementation intentions. And what implementation intentions are is nothing more than a fancy way of saying that if you want to develop the ability to follow through on your good intentions, you've got to become very specific and granular around exactly how you're going to do it, what you're going to do, and when you're going to do it. And this is a really powerful tool. And so just to illustrate this point, what research studies have found is that implementation intentions, this tool that I'm about to share with you, actually makes you up to 3 times more likely to follow through on your good intentions and actually achieve the goals you've set for yourself. 3 times. That is a huge thing if you really want to max out your life. And so the reason this is so powerful is because one of the inherent weaknesses of the human species is our limited capacity for self-control. I always like linking self-control, so our ability to regulate our own thoughts and emotions and behaviors, to an energy bar in a video game. When you wake up in the morning, you have the full energy available. And then every choice you make throughout the day around what to eat and what to wear and how to get to work and what to say to your boss and how do you treat your family and friends and all of these choices throughout the day. Should I eat this food, that food? All of this stuff takes away some willpower. Until in the end, we're left with nothing. It's something that psychologists call ego depletion. A state where essentially your willpower, your mental energy is just gone. It's evaporated. And basically through that, your ability then to make good decisions is severely hijacked. So what research also finds is that in those states, when you're just drained from mental and emotional energy, people's chances, people's probability of committing crimes, of engaging in destructive habits, whether it's drinking alcohol, smoking, taking drugs, yelling at their families and friends, all of this stuff, right? All of the destructive behaviors that people engage in, they rise dramatically in the evening as the day keeps going, because essentially their willpower is going down and their chance of doing destructive behaviors, it goes up. And so this is really an important insight. If you want to max out your life, you've got to learn how to deal with those moments when your mental power is just gone, when you're so fatigued that all you want to do is sit in front of the couch, eat junk food, but deep down inside that your goal is to demand a higher and bolder version of yourself. And so implementation intentions are exactly for those moments when all you want to do is quit, but you need to keep going to pursue your goals. And so what implementation intentions are then really is nothing more than if-then statements. If this happens, I'll do this. Once I get back home from work, after at 6 p.m., I'll go for a 5-mile run around the block. When I get home after work, instead of choosing this unhealthy dinner, here's exactly what I'm gonna eat. After, I don't know, a long day at work today, I'm going to study for 2 hours, right? And if I feel like quitting, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down and, meditate for 5 minutes, right? If I'm about to yell at my, family, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, excuse myself, take a deep couple breath, focus again on, the fact that I love them, and then go in and have that conversation, right? And so it's really about getting clear, getting specific and granular around how exactly you're going to approach your world, what exact behaviors, the thoughts or emotions you're going to create when it's the time to make those decisions, right? Because the reality is that if you leave it up to that moment, when you're about to yell at your family, when you come home and feel like just sitting on a couch eating junk food, if you leave that decision up to the moment, you're most likely in that drained state of mind going to choose the path of least resistance, which usually is not a good choice. And so what you want to do is you want to make those pre-commitments, pre-decisions, as psychologists often call them. Those decisions that you make, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, or even 5 weeks or months or years in advance, you already make the decision. So when the moment arrives, you already know what to do, and you don't have to do as much thinking anymore. You just follow through on your calendar. And so what I want to encourage you to do is start use implementation intentions, and really by just putting things on your calendar like you would do a meeting with your boss or your leadership team or your best friend or colleague, whatever it is. Put things on your calendar, because what this does is, first of all, it gets you very specific and clear to think about what exactly and when exactly I'm going to do this. So my run today, if I know I want to run 5 miles today, when exactly am I going to fit that in, right? Is it like, 5 a.m. in the morning, or is it 6 p.m. at night? When exactly am I going to fit that in, right? So it gets you thinking about, the possibilities in your day and how you can fit in that stuff. Maybe it's a meditation practice. When exactly are you going to do that, right? And the second thing this does of just scheduling things is it blocks the calendar, makes sure that this thing at that moment of time is the most important thing. There's no, fake emergencies coming up, no email checking, no social media, no movie time, but you know that once the time hits 6 p.m., it's run time, right? Once the time hits 5 a.m. maybe, it's meditation time, it's wake up time, it's whatever it is for you. But really using this concept of getting very specific and clear on not just organizing your professional life, but also your personal life. And so there's this great quote that says, discipline equals freedom. I truly believe that. The more discipline you have in your life, the more discipline you develop as a result of, just literally getting clear on what exactly you're going to do, how exactly you're going to show up, the more freedom you also have to truly be yourself, because you don't have to spend, time and energy anymore resisting your basic impulse of the brain, resisting that immediate gratification, thinking about, oh, should I do this now, should I do that? You've already decided, you've already committed, and so it makes it much easier. It saves a lot of willpower, it saves a lot of mental energy and clarity, which means that you can get that stuff done and then also experience more freedom, more sense of aliveness, because you just save all that precious mental power every single day. And so guys, I really hope that you're really applying this tool of implementation intentions, of if-then statements, of really getting clear on what exactly do I have to do, when exactly am I going to do it, how am I going to do it, right? What is it going to look like? Putting it on your calendar, right, at a specific time and place, so that you know exactly what it's going to look like, so you can really achieve those rare air visions that you have for your life. So with that being said, guys, I hope you keep maxing out every day of your life. See you soon.